Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to weekend number two, day two of my going live for readings for my YouTube subscriber marathon. So, hello, hey Nikita, hey Rakshanda. So glad you guys could make it. Again, I really appreciate your support and being here to hear from Spirit. And I am excited about being able to do this because, part of my YouTube subscriber marathon is doing this, and I'm also doing several giveaways over the next few weeks. I've actually created a giveaway, what is it called? A playlist, which I have linked down in the description box of this video that you can see which videos as I put them out offering, the different giveaways that I'm going to be having. And I'll also announce the winners there. So I'm excited about what I'll be offering going forward. And of course, once I reach my goal of 1,000 or more subscribers on YouTube, I'm also going to be giving away 10 free 1 hour personal readings to 10 lucky individuals. So I can't wait for that too. I'm very excited about that. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell the world because it's great. Giveaways that are coming out. So I love all that. We'll get on with the live reading. So thank you all for who are here already. I'm very uh, feeling very blessed to have you here. I know it's noon here where I'm at in the United States, Mountain Time. So if you guys tell me what time is it where you're at, because I think you're like in the nighttime, maybe. I try to figure it out, like in India and Australia and the UK and different places, and I'm like, "Is it really that late at night?" Yeah, okay, so I thought it might be midnight there. So hope you're having a good weekend because this is your Saturday night, right? So I do want to start off here before I start into the other readings. I love pulling a guardian angel card just for all of us for this session. Okay. Yeah, so it's late at night there. Excuse me. Yeah, earlier today when you saw your other readings, it was midnight where I was at too. So I have had sleep since then, obviously. All right. What messages do you have for us, please? All right. So here is the one. Let's see what we got. And I love these cards. They're just so beautiful. And we got inspiration. So I love that. And it says, a wave of inspiration and a stream of beautiful ideas are about to enter your aura. It's important that you trust your intuition at this time. Pay attention to unusual thoughts that come to your mind and do not discount your imagination. Many wonderful ideas which have served humanity were initially scoffed at or ridiculed. We, your guardian angels, will help you discover ways to apply your ideas and manifest new realities for your life. All right. Yeah, you can claim that, Nikita. You can have that one too. We'll share it, right? I'm ready for that as well. Excuse me. Let me take a quick sip here. We're a bit overcast today, so my allergies are acting up, so I apologize for my rough voice. But we want to start off here. We're going to look at Rakshanda, and you wanted to know about who your future spouse will be. Have you met him already? How will you meet? And like, what kind of your married life might be like? So that's all. That's all you want to know. So let's take a look here. I do want to use the Chinese tarot to start off. And we'll start off asking just, do you know them yet? Have you met them? Or are they going to be someone brand new coming into your life? All right. So, has she already met her future spouse? So, let me take a look here. So, you've got, excuse me, you got the Two of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. So you're asking too, will he be from armed forces or an Air Force officer? I kind of feel like that they will be because it's like this is the leader behind the forces. So it's interesting that you asked that just as I pulled the cards because doesn't that look like, that they have someone here? Yeah, I know that, military is it's I think that attraction to military type men is normal for divine feminine women or divine feminine people because there's this security in that. They're usually disciplined. They are, not the ragamuffin of the street. That's usually a playa and different things like that. Um, yeah, but there's also this. Um, like the responsibility, the security in it too, right? So there's a lot of reasons. Of course, it varies by individual too. But let's take a look here. So they answered that it does seem that they will be from the armed forces and they will be in kind of an officer in a place of responsibility over others because he was behind the others. Let's see. Do you know him already? If you can let us know that. Actually, they want me to pull one of these angel answer cards for that specific question. Of course, that doesn't mean every single military man is like we were talking about either, right? But you're not blind. You are both of you that are chatting here in the chat room. You are really in tune with your gut feeling and your gut instincts. So so your answer as far as do you know him yet? They're all let it go. You don't need to know that right now. You know, they're just like enjoy the adventure, enjoy the journey, enjoy the unfolding. Don't try to control it so much and try to know so much about it. Um, because that's the fun part. It's like a masquerade ball, is what they're showing me my in my mind, in my third eye. I see you at this masquerade ball, and you have your beautiful ordained mask, and they have this beautiful ordained, you know, mask that you can't see who it is. And if before the party you were like, "Oh, this is a picture of everyone and who's behind the mask," you'd be like, "Eh," takes a lot of the excitement out, right? Yeah. We try, we'll keep trying. And maybe eventually we'll break down the angels and your guides and they'll be like, fine, this is who it is. Yeah. And that's true, Nikita, too. With when you have high intuition and you're able to see the possibilities of people and feel their emotions, sometimes they don't allow that beautiful being to come out. And so they act differently than they are on the inside. And so we're like sometimes, and I'm the same way. With our intuition, I was like, but they had such potential, and they're like, focus on what you see them acting in the world, not what you're picking up, because really behind every one of us there is a higher being, right? A powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. That's amazing. If we see that, that may not be the character they're playing on the earth for this lifetime. So it's like, see what you see with your physical eyes, still trust your gut and your intuition, but don't make decisions, based on that with getting together with someone. Mm. We can look into that, Nikita, after we're done with Rakshanda here. So yes, Rakshanda, I'll get back on focus here. Um, so you also wanted to know, just let me see, let me scroll up here a little bit. Haven't had enough coffee yet to remember everything, right? So they're saying with a masquerade ball, just go with the flow. You want to be able to enjoy the adventure, the romance of things unfolding without the knowing yet. But they did give you that hint that, yeah, it will be like someone in position over others in kind of a military type of atmosphere there. And they didn't want to let you know if you met them or not yet. How will you meet, and what will your married life be like? You don't need to apologize, Nikita. I'm kind of like, what's that? What's that? What? Oh, yeah. So let's take a look here. How will you meet? How will you meet? So you have the Eight of Swords here. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your mentalities, and the Eight of Swords is about moving up in your thoughts and your beliefs and your communication, and it can be like your education too. So I kind of feel like you might meet him in some sort of gathering about, you know, like educational, and it doesn't necessarily mean like college or school or things like that, but it is about the study of something. It could even be, you're taking a cooking class, or you're taking something where you're learning something, and while you're there it's like, oh, and that's great because that means you have a common interest in learning about something. And I feel like that is what it's going to be. So it's going to be somewhere where you are learning and improving and excelling and going to a next level in your thoughts, your beliefs, your education, whether it can be, anything like that. All right, and so you have when and his personality and how. So I'm going to switch up decks here. Excuse me. Let's take another sip here. So what am I looking for here? This one is where I want to go. I'm going to go with the Sacred Forest Oracle for you. All right, well, tell us about his personality. Okay, we got two cards. I think one of them, because I was looking at your question. So one of these is his personality. The other one is like because you asked when. See, yeah, when and his personality and how. So this is the when. I'm sorry, this is his personality. So again, air spirit, knowledge. What a beautiful card. And so that makes sense that he's going to be an intelligent individual, because and that makes sense with where you meet him is where he's expanding his mind. It's like he's always learning and just hungry for more and more and more to expand his mind and his awareness. And so I like that. It says, as you stand in the center of the forest, a subtle breeze lovingly touches your cheeks. Gentle gusts rustle the leaves above you as the spirit of air approaches upon her boat of light and wind. In the quietude, you sense the wind whispering message to you from spirit. And you receive this card when you need to think things through. This is not the time to be impulsive. So this is going to be his personality. He thinks things through. He's not impulsive. He doesn't react instinctively to situations and people. So he's very calm. That's why he's in leadership in the military, because he's not like a hothead where he just makes a decision and makes a wrong one. He's very intelligent in a lot of ways. He listens to others. He speaks his truth. He takes time to weigh pros and cons. He enjoys going on new ventures and new projects as well. He's very successful. He's thoughtful, organized, and focused. And has this remarkable wellspring of wisdom within him. Excuse me. So the air represents wisdom, mental activity, and ability to reason. So, like he had the Eight of Swords, swords is the air element. So it's amazing. And then he was the Two of Swords too, in that first one. So it's making sense here, right? It's all coming together. And let me take a look here. Yeah, thoughts, intellect, communication, comprehension. So he's got all that. He's just really smart, right? Hi, Ray. Yeah, you can ask a question too. I'm finishing up with Rikshanda, and then I'm gonna ask some questions for Nikitha, and then I will go to you. So you can put what you're wanting to know down in the comment box as well. So he's very much, a smart individual. It's interesting because it says our lives begin with our first breath. So air is connected with new beginnings. The spirit of air oversees friendship, clarity, and positive focus. So it seems like he's got friends, and that makes sense. I kind of feel like because he's so smart and he's really wise, a lot of people come to him for advice and that type of thing too. So that's pretty amazing. Um, it makes sense why that he'll be attracted to you because he's smart, right? All right, and then you also wanted to know. Let me just make sure here. So that was his personality. So you want to know when and how you'll meet. And this is how and when you'll meet. You've got success with the secret spring. And that's card number 34. And it says you stand behind a thicket of ferns at the edge of a secret spring. Gazing across the still water, you see a boat silently gliding towards you, a glowing light hanging loosely from its bow. The fairy of the spring floats above the boat, and her wings are radiant and shimmering. She knows that you are there and smiles at you. It's said that anyone who sees the secret spring fairy on a starry night will be blessed with success beyond measure. It says all things are possible. The more you honor and celebrate the success that you already have, the more success pours into your life. And the more you feel it, the more love, prosperity, fame, and fortune you will have. Act as if and feel as if you are wildly successful, and even more success will develop. Accept that you are already thriving because you are, and the more victories will emerge. So if a situation seems to knock you down, get up and take a moment to explore what you learned and then keep going. I really feel with this, that's as much as they want me to read at this one because they're like, act as if you're enjoying and you have everything already in your life. They're really steering you away from knowing exactly who it is, exactly how and where, and all that. They're like, keep the mystery. Think of your life as a giant masquerade ball and look around and enjoy and be grateful for what you do have and what's already been in your life and enjoy that. Because they're like, you're not supposed to know yet because that would be too much information and it would really spoil the party, is what they're saying. So we'll keep trying though. This time around, we're like, okay, we've tried twice to get more information, but you've gotten some. So they've given you some tidbits, which is great. They're still keeping it, kind of away from there. Sure. So as far as your married life, let me pull a card here. They want me to pull a Power of Surrender card. So let's take a look here. This is what the impact that your married life will have on you here. I appreciate your patience, everyone. I will be to you guys next. So Nikita will be next, and then Ray, and then hi, Sabrina. I will then go to you next. So we will definitely get there. This will be the final card here for Rukshanda. And if you have additional questions, Rukshanda, you can ask them and I'll add you on here. I just want to be able to get to others as well. And you have surrender to effortlessness, which is amazing, right? If you're asking, what is my marriage going to be like? It's going to be effortless. It's just going to be so cohesive and so peaceful. It says, stop pushing so hard. You're not going to be having this push that you don't feel the need, and he won't feel the need. It says the art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. Oh wow, there's a hidden message in that one in there. They said your marriage will be like that because now you're learning to go with the flow and who it is, and a lot of that information you're learning to trust and go with the flow. But that's how your marriage will be too. So I love that. Yes. Thank you very much. So if you have additional questions, feel free to add it in there because I'm going to be here for at least an hour. And I'll hang out if there's people still here. So, all right, Nikitha. So we were looking into being with that individual, Yogesh, and you felt you had a hell of a lot of universal hints that they're called, but you don't think you'll end up together. So you're trying to come out of it. It's been over a year. So we'll ask here from the True Heart Intuitive Tarot and just say, is he the one for long term, or um, was he just a beautiful mirror for you for this period of time? And it's just going to be ending soon. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Thanks for letting me do that. Okay. Good night. You have a good one. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Rikshanda. All right. So current feelings and next actions. Okay. So current feelings, next actions. All right. So you do have the Empress here, which represents like new birth, newness, new creativity, new things. So um, I feel like that, when you're asking about your current feelings and next actions, this is about new birth. It's not about um, reincarnation. You're not going to bring him back from the dead. It's not a resurrection. It's new birth for you. So I really feel like they're saying, like, no, that you're ready for something new, right? Because it's new birth, right? There's also the Empress is about sensuality, and so there might be some physical attraction still left there, but you know, you have the Queen of Cups too. So two very powerful individuals, because the Queen of Cups is emotions, and the Queen also, in addition to ruling water, she gets a double dose of water because all the queens get a double dose of water. So this is about, it's like the High Priestess too, very powerful, you know. Yeah, definitely. So trusting your intuition, trusting your connection, trusting that gut and your emotions. This is all about new birth. I mean, look at this is you, all this divine feminine energy showing your power, and that it is very much the Empress is likes being free and away from all that restriction and all that feeling suppressed and feeling trapped and all these expectations, and oh my gosh, you're like ready to be free from it. So I think that's why the Empress keeps coming up, is because they're, it's your divine feminine wanting to express itself and your power, and not feel like you have to like be less, right? Like be less than, and shrink to be able to not offend some, masculinity of different individuals, yeah. You have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about ready to leave behind old emotions that are no longer serving you and move on. So very clear message there for you. um yeah, so next actions is move on, let old emotions go, reflect on what you learned about yourself and about, you know the love that you had for yourself, and you know um, how, just all those feelings that came up, that they were for you. We'll see. Let's see his feelings. Is he regretting that? So what are his feelings, and if he is regretting that, let us see that he's regretting that or not. Okay, so you actually got two. So you have Five of Swords. Five of Swords is about conflict. So I kind of feel like he's conflicted, you know. I know sometimes we wish that like our exes would just choose one way or another, just be totally, that or totally in love with me. One of the two. And it's like, but they're back and forth, they're back and forth. Yeah. Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is the marriage, card, the celebration, joy, stable energies. Yeah, yeah. So I kind of feel like that's that's the pendulum, right? Back and forth between conflict, oh, celebration, conflict, celebration, conflict, celebration, and I can understand you want like a middle ground. You don't want a roller coaster where it's up and down and up and down and up and down. So that is his his inner confliction. So yeah, yeah, I would, you know, that definitely your cards. I mean, this is you leaving leaving the situation and going on into other things. Because I think this is Mars, and so this is moving on to other someone else. Mars represents like divine masculine, type of energy too. So yeah, definitely. So he's conflicted. He's going back and forth. Is that Jupiter? Thank you. Jupiter is expansion though, so that's good. It's a very Sagittarian energy, time to enjoy life and celebrate and move forward on that. So yeah, I really feel that's where he's coming from too. So there you go. So returning to yourself, it's even a more beautiful message, right? That you're learning to love yourself and not put so much stock in what they think and their emotions and their feelings because you can't control that anyway. I really feel like they're saying it's up to you, but with that Queen of Cups saying trust your gut, which it feels like the answer already. And that Eight of Cups, they're saying, yeah, leave behind those emotions that are no longer serving you. Yeah. And then with that Empress, it's new beginnings. It's like, yeah, it's new birth. So it's leave the old behind and move on to new things. So definitely that is their nudge. You always have your power of choice. But when we're asking like, what's for my highest benefit? They're like, time for the new lesson, the new mirror to come into your life. So yeah, I would definitely take that as the message. All right. So if you have more questions, Nikita, you can throw them down there. Looks like Ray that you took the message away. So if you still have a question, you can throw it down in the description. I mean, in the comments down there. My pleasure, Nikita. So we'll move into Sabrina. What are Justin's feelings for you, Sabrina? Right, and Theodora, we'll go to you next after I am finished here with Sabrina. And kind of want to do one of these spirit junkie cards first for you, Sabrina. You're very welcome. All right. So what is Justin thinking about you? What are his feelings for you? All right, you actually got two cards here. So one thing, it says in here, when I move my body, I feel empowered, cleansed, and strong. So I really feel like this is what they're looking at here with, they see you as this, just strong individual, right? So they see you in this beautiful light. They don't see you as weak or, um, needy and any of that. They're like, wow, they're actually attracted to this inner power that you have. And then you also have this one here, which says, I am committed to bringing forth my greatness. I will no longer play small. So, yeah, so to start off, this is how their emotions are. I mean, both these cards speak of seeing strength, and it's like you're not afraid to speak up for yourself, and it's that inner strength. So that is where I kind of feel that they're coming from. Sure, Ray. Yeah, if you want to put your question back in there, it said that it was removed, and my I don't have enough coffee in my brain yet. Well, I'm like, I don't know what she said. I didn't see your message, so you can put it back in there, and then I'll circle back around to you. So let's take a look here. I do want to use the Chinese tarot for you too. See what Justin's feelings are for you. And for everyone that's joined, since I had started, I also have a giveaway playlist that's listed down in the description box where I'm giving away some free things during my YouTube subscriber marathon. So be sure to check that out and register because you can have a chance at winning a 30-minute personal recorded reading. So, all right, so for Justin, yeah. So the Chariot card here again. He just really sees that you are a very independent, strong person. You make your own choices. You're not afraid to make your own choices, and you stand strong there. So he sees you someone that's not indecisive. Like you know what you want, and they really like that about you, right? And you also have the Fool card, so he sees it as a uh, something new, something different than he has ever seen before. And so there is an attraction there. He really likes your uniqueness and how you're different. But I kind of feel like, uh, like the Fool card normally has someone standing on the edge and they're like, oh, about to step off on something. It's like he's almost a little hesitant because uh, you're so different than people that he has met before. So um, which isn't a bad thing. Again, if it's someone that's not for you, that is afraid of you for being you, swipe to the left, right? Let's see what else they have to say here real quick. Yeah. So you have the Five of Staves or the Five of Wands, and that is a change of energy. So I do see change coming in your interaction and your relationship with them, because that is about movement from uh, an energy of fear and conflict, like, oh, I don't know about this, to one where it's of love and of caring and of helping each other move up in things. So hopefully that helps. If you want more clarification, just ask, the specific question down below. And let me see here. Let me just make sure I'm caught up here. Right, yeah. So I'm to Theodora. The current feelings of, is that Akis towards you? And I kind of want to switch up. I'm going to use the Tarot of the Magical Forest for you. Great. All right, so what would you like Theodora to know about Akis's current feelings toward her? All right, so you get 3. We'll take a look here. So you're the devil. No. Um, so you have the shadow card that's coming up, which is all right. Don't freak out yet. And then you have the Eight of Cups, which is about leaving behind old emotions. And then you have the Justice card, which is about balancing and understanding what someone wants. And they are gaining this higher knowledge of, the higher realms, those things that are rooted in unconditional love versus those things that are rooted in the fear of losing conditional love. So it's like these are his demons, his old emotions that he felt. and the interactions that you have with them triggering some things, which is totally, you can't help that. You're a mirror for him, and you can't help what he sees, what he experiences, what's triggered, because there's echoes that are happening from the past, and you can't stop those echoes because they're happening in his head, they're happening in his heart. So this is his journey that he's going through, and which is all right, you know. The I love the justice card coming in here though, because there is this balancing out, and with it being the sword, that's more of the mind, and he's figuring things out in his head. He knows, like, you can know, like, this isn't you, this is these past things, but the heart goes, oh my god, I'm so upset, you know, because it's not uh, differentiating between the person in front of them with emotions coming up and all the past emotions that they had. So he is figuring things out in his head, uh, and he might be an air sign, like a sun sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. So they might be in their head a lot. But I kind of want to pull another card here. I'm attracted to these Oracle of E. Let's get some more clarity here. Boom. Yeah, you know, I'm not very smart myself, but I have learned to listen to them who are very smart, right? Oh, you're Gemini too. Oh, good. So you get the thinking piece. You're like, oh, I'm totally okay with that. I can relate to that. So let's take a look here. Okay. Pick up after yourself. I love these cards because they're hilarious. So so it's like he's picking up after himself, and they're kind of saying you pick up after yourself too. It says the blame game is over. It's time to realize that the only person who can affect you in any way is you. Within your own mind is the answer to every question and the power to accomplish anything. Take charge, be accountable, and let's do this thing. That is so perfect, right? So definitely that's what, what you both are learning. He's learning, he's picking up his own mess. He's realizing that, again, that really reinforces the message that we had before of that this is um, him realizing in his mind that old echoes and old pain and old things from the past are coming up, but he gets it, that it's not you, it's the past, but he's working through the past. And for you, it's like, oh yeah, so anything that you are being concerned with and things that are coming up in your echoes, it's like what a perfect mirror, a Gemini and a Gemini, twins, and being in this here. So I don't think he's afraid of something necessarily. I mean, what every human is afraid to get hurt again and again and again. I think he's more cautious. And I have this feeling, and this could be both of you because you're mirroring each other, that you might have had heartbreaks and went into relationships right away, had heartbreak again, went into relationships again, heartbreak. And it's like at this point, it's like, aha, he is definitely seeing that. He's like, I see my pattern and I want to stop this now. I don't want to continue this pattern going forward. And so it's almost like he's slowing things down, dealing with his kakapupu from the past, because he doesn't want to take it into this next level, into this thing. Does that make sense? Maybe. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So, yeah, yeah. And he can definitely, whenever he's saying stuff to you about this is how I see you, you're like, yeah, because you're a mirror. You're like, okay. And then when you're thinking you're seeing something in him, it's like, where's that inside me? And it can really help with that. So, is this good? It's definitely perfect timing for you. It's always divine appointments. No one is ever in our life by accident. Everyone that comes across our path is a divine appointment. So it is for your highest good. Yeah. So you have the sun card, which is victory, success, brightness, sunshine. It's one of the most positive cards in the entire deck. So they are definitely saying that. There's also, because this is Leo energy, it's about looking into your inner child and looking at that, which is what you both are kind of doing. All those echoes are coming from really early childhood traumas and pains and sufferings that we had that keep echoing until we go back and pay attention to that little child. So I kind of feel like that's what's going on with that. So hopefully that helped a little bit there. Ta-da! I love that. Right. If you have additional questions, Theodora, go ahead and put them in there. I'm going to move on to some other people, but we'll come back around if you do have additional questions there. And so then, let me make sure here. All right. So Ray, if you are still here, thank you for your patience. And then I'll then go to guidance for LP next. So appreciate you guys hanging in there. So Ray, will D Capricorn ever fall in love with you? He's an online friend. Okay, let's take a look here. Thanks for hanging in there, Ray. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to use the Chinese tarot for you as well. So will he ever fall in love with you? Has he? Will he? Okay. It looks like that he either has had or will have emotions for you. And, there is, of course, this message here of also emotional choices that regardless of what his choices are too, that you get to choose what it means about you. You can either allow it to expand you and connect you and have choices of unconditional love connected to the higher realm, or, of course, all those emotions of the fear of losing conditional love and have it impact you. But I really don't feel like you're in that kind of space anyway. Because you also have the moon. So this is trust your intuition, trust your emotions, trust your emotional journey. You'll see behind the scenes, you'll see below the surface, the unconscious and everything else. So even though, it's like he might have feelings for you, it's like, well, trust your gut though. Don't rush into anything where if later people go, didn't you see the red flags? And you go, oh, I thought that was a carnival. It's like, oh, there were red flags going, wait a minute. But when sometimes we're so focused, we can just see the red flags flying by when we rush into something, right? Yeah, because you have the Page of Swords too. So the Page of Swords are our thoughts and our mind, but it's also about communication. I feel like there's going to be new communication coming in for you too, both within your intuition, but also from, possibly him. So just be aware of the communications that's coming. Keep your eyes wide open and keep your third eye wide open too, and trust that what you're seeing and feeling, because you're not wrong. So I love that for you, Ray. If you have additional questions, please definitely pop them down in the box and I can circle back around here. I just want to go ahead and check in here with the guidance for LP. So the current feelings of K for you, is he heartbroken by you? Okay. All right, let's take a look here. LP, current feelings and heartbrokenness. So let's take a look here. Current feelings. So you got the Prince of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands in this one, I love it because, Wands is energy and it's passion, it's drive, it's ambition, but it's overall just our energetic experience. And he's got a phoenix here. So, when we're looking at what is current feelings for you, it's like, phoenixes, of course, burn down to ashes and then rise from the ashes. So the current feelings I feel that he had is that he's moved into this new birth. He's realized, what he learned from the burning down of the ashes, and he's grown. He's turned into something else. Yeah, exactly, like a rebirth. And as far as if he's heartbroken, then you have the magician card. Amazing. So I don't feel like he's really um dealt with it. I almost feel in this could be that he's kind of like a fire sign. I almost feel like if it's like an maybe an Aries, but it's like I feel like along with that card, he heats up fast and explodes, but then he's over it. It's like it doesn't. He doesn't seem like someone that would. Yeah, so Scorpio makes sense for his rebirth. He enjoys the rebirth over and over and over again, right? But I don't feel like he's someone that really holds on to like long-term resentments and things like that. He just likes to just burn bright and it's psh, and then move on and get over with it. 'Cause especially with this magician, this represents him feeling empowered through his life in this situation and that he's transforming it and that he realized through the experience that he has, this stuff within him and he's, moving and using the situation in an empowering way instead. Is he upset with you? Let's see here. It's got the Six of Wands. So again, this energy coming in. He it's funny because this is like the recognition card, and I don't feel like he's upset with you, but I almost feel like he uses it to get attention from some people, if you know what I mean. So he knows what his group of friends or whatever, if he needs attention, he can be like, "Oh, I'm just thinking about what happened," but he's not truly upset on the inside to the extent, that um, that you might be thinking that he is. And it doesn't have anything to do with you, because he's seeing things from a different perspective. He's seeing things in a completely different way. And I really feel like that experience with you definitely helped him see. I almost feel like it's like they're showing me, what was it? Moonlighting? It's the one with Cher in it. I forget which one it was where she like slaps somebody and they're still staring at her and she slaps them again and says, "Snap out of it." It's like the experience with you, though it might have been like awakening, it actually did awaken him to a lot of things. And so I feel like he's really looking at his what he learned from it and how he, moved through that, and that he's not so caught up in the source of the slap, but that he's really been contemplating the slap, and it really woke him up to a lot of things. It's almost like um, he realizes how it interacted. Yeah, because he got the magician again. So he definitely is transforming it, and he's realizing so much that he had so much of what he was looking for inside of him, and that he can make things happen. And it's really brought him back to himself and to his um, power, because that's the divine masculine power, the wand. It's card number one. He's like realizing what he wanted in life and what had been drawing him in different places, if that makes sense. I can take a look here. And so, are you going to reconnect? And do you mean like romantically, or just mean like, is he ever going to talk to me again? So First, the yeah, right. I figured that's why they gave me two cards. One is the full card, so it's like, are we going to reconnect again? It's like you're both heading off on new paths and new journeys, and I feel like you might bump into each other. He of course is the dog that you bump into each other on your path, but it's not. It's like in passing. It's not like you are in each other's lives because then you have the justice card. So it's the balancing out of things. It's the again this higher knowledge that you've had. So I don't see like this deep connection. I just feel like it's in passing and hey, let's get together and have some coffee and just talk about things and da da da. And it's like no, they're like you're both on a new path. You both don't have time for that. Yeah, because you have the Four of Cups here. So these three cups represent, the relationship, the interactions, the emotion you had, but this is what you guys are focused on. You're realizing, like you are seeing things from this perspective that those things were not fruitful for you at the time, but what you learned from it and where you're headed now is fruitful. It is blossoming in other things. So yeah, I really don't see the indications here that you end up reconnected in a deep way. It's just more like in passing, and it's like you can't, excuse me. I'm hearing the like the phrase, "I don't want to get burned again," and it's not a resentful way. It's just like I learned, and I just don't want to do it. Kind of thing. Yeah, because then you have the Five of Cups. So it's like the emotions you felt, both felt, were on purpose, for a purpose. You experienced it, but you have your two cups behind here, and it's like they're not together, they're separated. They're separated by the sorrow, they're separated by that emotion in this particular card. So, they keep on reiterating it that I don't see that it's coming back to that way. And that's okay. They are showing that it happened on purpose for a purpose, but that purpose is done. And so you're going on this new journey, that fool's journey, which is ending of an old cycle and beginning of a new. You're headed off into a new direction. So don't let it weigh you down. He's not letting it weigh him down. He learned from it. He's like really took the slap really deeply. He didn't blame like, oh, this is just her being that way and blah 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 blah. He's like, oh wow, now I see what she was saying. Now I see um, what they were trying to tell me all along. Like that person said that, that person said it. Actually, I've had people be telling me that all my life, and now you were the one that was like, psh, psh, snap out of it. And so it's like he is snapping out of it. So if you have additional questions, you can pop them down there. I'm gonna jump back to Ray here. Thank you, Ray. You've been so patient, and I'm sorry. Will you get into a relationship with them? Let's take a look here. Lost Spirit, what do you feel about the relationship? Oh, good. So you guys got some good earth grounding energy at least. Okay. All right, then you have these three. So I did ask what they wanted you to know about a relationship between you two, and then I did pull cards on if you will have a relationship. This is um, the swords are your thoughts, beliefs, mindsets, and all that. It is a conflict card, but the fives are a transformation of conflict. So if you do get in a relationship with them, they want to let you know that in the beginning, there will be butting of heads, which makes sense. Taurians, can be stubborn and hold their thoughts and their beliefs. Capricorns can also, I'm a Capricorn rising, so I know we can get set in our ways too. So there might be some battling of trying to prove that your small t truths of your human beliefs are more truer than their small t truths of their human beliefs. But in the end, it does bring, it's for a purpose, because of the care that you have for one another when you're battling. Making up is always fun, right? But you also learn to go like, well, is it so important that I win this battle? Because I'm going to lose the war, I'm going to lose them. And you learn to be more open minded to each other's, small t truth beliefs, and it helps you be more receptive and open. So I like that. And as far as getting into relationship, I actually got four cards here. So, oh my gosh, look what came out again, but in a different, completely deck. So I really think that is probably a yes, because you also have the five, the Hierophant. So you have another five, which this is about moving to a higher level in your life, your knowledge and your wisdom. So it is reverbing the same type of energy here. So I love that. You do have the Six of Swords. Kind of feel like this is you too going across. It's movement of your thoughts and your minds and your beliefs. So I feel like it's moving from choppy waters to calmer waters. And again, another six. Movement in recognition. And, this card can represent, a change of what matters to you with your energy, like what matters to you in your recognition. Sometimes we look to the outside world to say, I'm doing these things because I want the recognition, I want that from you. But then when you get it, it's like, that's it. I thought it was going to feel like a parade inside, but when someone's like, oh, I'm so proud for what you've done, or I love you for who you are, and you're just like, why? I thought it was going to mean more. Because there is this kind of deeper message here too, with these two, that your spiritual awareness, your spiritual knowledge grows and grows. And you look to the heavens, you look for whatever you believe, source, the creator, mother and father of all things, whatever you believe the higher power is, you are realizing the recognition that you have from above, and that changes things, because that also comes into all the knowledge with all the swords. Because when I was talking about small t truths of the human world, we have all those that are rooted in the fear of losing conditional love. So we have all these things we feel we need to do, but eventually it's connecting to the higher capital T truths of the heavens, that are rooted in unconditional love. So all of our relationships, all of them are mirrors for us, of course, everything we go through, and it is about taking us to that higher place, taking us to the awareness. We have this human experience to more fully understand our spiritual, heavenly, higher self with this, world of contrast. I always like my tapestry back here. If it was all black, then you wouldn't see any design. If it was all white, you wouldn't see any design. But because there's a contrast, you're able to see things more clearly and more detailed. And I kind of feel like that's a lot of what goes through with that. So I like that for you, but definitely that Lover's card popping up twice in two separate decks, it does seem like there will be a relationship of the heart of some way between you two. So uh, hang in there with that. All right. So I think I am actually all caught up. If there's anyone else, or Ray, if you have additional questions, anyone else in the room that has any other questions, I'm happy to check in with Spirit to see what they have to say for you. And while I'm waiting, I really do want to pull a card here and this is for if there's anyone in the room that did not want to ask a question publicly, or someone that watches this after we've finished streaming. So this is for you to help answer your question. All right. So here it is right here. You have quest. I love this. It reminds me of the hermit energy with their lantern guiding that here. Let's see what message that they have for you. So I'll hold this up while I read it. There we go. So it says, under the glow of the full Scorpio moon up here, our gentle creature has undertaken their own quest. They have the lamp with the phoenix feather to light the way, while their belt carries potions of healing. The dagger is made for helping others rather than causing harm. Let's see if there's more here. Yeah. And then the mask here is a symbol of their work as a guide, a shaman. But they are not done. Even though they have all the tools of the healer that they are, there is always another level to attain. They've been taught by their own teacher creature that one must always learn more. So this creature has set themselves a task. They are off to see what the world wants them to learn. Perhaps you could try this as well. Rather than asking to learn a specific thing, you might pose the question, what does the universe want me to know today? It can be a powerful thing to let that float out as you let your heart loose to hear the answer that is waiting for you. The key here is not to force the response. Your job, like the guide's job, is just to follow the call. Love it. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful message there. All right, well, we are coming up on an hour here. I don't see any other questions down in the chat area there. So I do want to let you know that I will be back at noon tomorrow Mountain Time. So if you are wanting to get any kind of a free reading over here live, you can check back around that time here. Other than that, I did put out the weekly energy updates today, which is all about the Mercury retrograde, the pre-shadow starting tomorrow. So it gives you some insight in what you can do with that Mercury energy. And also, like I mentioned, I have that giveaway that I have listed down below, the giveaway playlist, where you can check that out and sign up for any of the giveaways. I had one that I posted yesterday. I'll probably have another one that I'll post next Friday for something else. You still have until September 3rd on this first one. So I gave it a couple weeks for people to be able to comment on that video to be entered into the drawing. So again, I appreciate all of you for coming, for trusting me to connect to the spirit world for you. I'm having a blast doing this. I might do this a whole lot more often because I'm really enjoying it. And again, appreciate you, appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. If you're, you know, in my time zone, enjoy the rest of your day. The rest of you have a good night's sleep, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Take care.